What is that? Foo Fighters, Leslie? Name that
Red Hot
band.
Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Look at that. We got a karaoke machine, y'all, and we found a new love in this household. I think the adults have more fun than the kids, and karaoke during a snow break is quite fun, especially when you're iced in. But welcome to Tuesday. We are already kickstarted the week, obviously. Yesterday, we talked about value squared. I hope everybody's working on their homework from that. Um, Linda or Kirsten, can y'all put that on the Facebook group today so we can make sure everybody has that for next week? Because I would love to get y'all's ahas about that and what you did for your homework. Today is all things AI. For those that didn't get a chance to put that other prompt in about it creating a caricature on social media, you should do it. It's pretty comical what comes up from that. I got tickled at mine, so I'd encourage y'all to do it. I think the only there's a couple of images with mine, like I had six fingers, so I don't have that in real life. However, that's what AI developed for me. So there's that. But anyway, all that to say is we are all things AI today, and I love this one. I want to bring up this prompt. Right now, we're still in the lead generation section of this playbook. And we've talked about four lead generation pillars, which I'm going to mention that again in just a minute. But right now, I'm not going to lie, this is my favorite one. This is more my style because I like to work smarter, not harder. I like to go a big group and get in front of big groups and not go one to one. One to one with my personality style takes too long. I like to go big group and try to catch everybody in one big forum. So this is the prompt. It says, become a strategic community builder. It says, I want to create a relationship adjacent community initiative that serves genuine community needs while naturally positioning me as a local authority and connector. Please help me develop a strategic community building plan that generates organic leads, suggests 3 to 5 potential community initiatives based on genuine community needs, my specific expertise, which is why we started with the beginning of this, was telling chat what my expertise is and what it used to be in terms of other careers that I've been a part of. Number 3, opportunities to showcase local market knowledge. Number 4, connection building potential among potential buyers and sellers and long-term relationship development opportunities. And so I put this into chat and this is what it came up with. And like I said, this is my favorite because I do enjoy connecting people and I do like to, one of my strengths is command in a room, and I do like to talk in larger groups. So it says, this is awesome, I think. Instead of just saying a wealth building seminar, they're calling it a Memphis Homeowner Wealth Lab. It's a financial literacy and housing equity initiative, not a sales seminar. Because if people hear seminar, they're out. If they hear homeowner wealth lab, that to me sounds much more fun than a seminar. So I love how they phrased it. It says why this matters. Memphis is high home ownership and low equity literacy. How can I help people understand what equity means and what they can do with the equity, right? Many homeowners don't understand appreciation, refinancing, tax strategies, or legacy planning. Investors dominate conversation. Homeowners are underserved. Totally agree with that. That's why we have a large number of wholesalers in our marketplace. Some explain what equity and appreciation mean, others do not, which is underserving our communities because we do not have more people explaining that to homeowners. It gives me my format and a structure. It gives me resources and places I can host this. It gives me positioning in the marketplace. And then it gives me contact capture information, and then it gives me a follow-up plan, all of the things I could ever want and need, all for my new homeowner wealth lab. Number 2, this is another one. It says, I think I just missed number 2. Hold on one second. Number 2 is a neighborhood intelligence series. So go into hyper-local market insights without listings. So going into the neighborhoods, and it gives me a format for that. It says monthly spotlight on one neighborhood, delivered as a short PDF or email to those folks in the neighborhood, and then an optional live coffee meetup, which I love a good virtual coffee. I think that is really fun and cool and completely different than what most people are doing. And we can talk about price trends, renovations, rental pressure, school and zoning notes, and what this means if you live in that specific neighborhood. So going hyper local, and you could do that once a month in many different neighborhoods, gives you the resources required in the positioning. And then it gives you a contact capture and a follow-up system. So like this tells me exactly what I need to do in this lead generation pillar. And like I said, this is my favorite. Number 3, it says Memphis connector dinners. I absolutely love this. Curated relationships, not networking. So people who, and just so everybody knows, people are not they're demanding community and connection right now. That is something that people are really wanting, and so this would provide that dinner which I am the connector. I'm bringing everybody together, and I'm talking about where does it say positioning? Oh, it's just essentially I'm not really going into much about the real estate market. It gives me just some additional things that I need to touch on in terms of what's going on in the community in Memphis. It says I can market to young professionals, small business owners, investors, and homeowners. So going into those small community groups to build community and camaraderie within those. And then I love this too. Instead of a first-time home buyer seminar, I've got a first-time buyer reality project. And it talks about first-time home buyers, how we can create, well, there's lack of confusion. So how can we create some clarity for first-time home buyers so that they understand truly what their options are and around affordability, what that really means for them in a monthly mortgage. Again, it gives me all the structure. And then I'm going to hit on the last one, which I love this, local business housing impact roundtable, where businesses and housing interact. It gives me a structure for this so that I could talk to businesses and how does the local real estate market affect the business and the business location. And this honestly captures everything from business owners to potential commercial leads and tying it all together in what's going on in the community. So I think this is super cool. One of my favorites that I've seen so far. I'm going to go back to this because I want to touch on this because I think this is incredibly important. At this point, we've gone through 4 different prompts. We've gone through, I'm going to go back up here just because I want to hit on them. We've talked about engaging past clients. We've talked about professional network. We've talked about social connections, and we've talked about geographic farms, and it's given us all these prompts. But here's the kicker, and I think this is incredibly important. Choose one. One. It says choose one of these methods that aligns with your natural strengths and double down on it rather than trying to be a generalist of all 4 simultaneously. It says the future of real estate lead generation isn't more about ads or lead purchases. It's about building AI enhanced systems that generate opportunities through expertise, relationships, and value creation. So if you do anything, you can file all of these in your chat, which I've talked about this multiple times. So putting it over here in a project, and then what is the one lane that I really want to stick with? And I think this would be my lane. Honestly, I love this, and this does help strengthen what I'm already good at. Instead of me trying to do all of these different things and then not getting the reach that I probably could if I just stuck to one form of lead gen. So all that to say is I'm storing them all over here because once I create a great system around this, then I can go to the next. I loved how creative this was. Instead of saying seminars, it's giving a different spin on bringing people together in relationship and community. Any ahas, thoughts, or questions around this? Definitely my favorite prompt. Um, as everybody knows, I hope everybody knows this. If you're newer on this journey on Win the Morning, we are putting all of these in the Win the Morning emails. So please make sure you're reading those emails because it's giving you a summary of everything we talked about. It has what I've asked for y'all to do for homework. It gives you the prompts. We're really trying to simplify it in one newsletter so that you can access all of that. Anybody have any questions about this? Anything else I can do for you all? Okay. Today is team meeting day. I am going to try my best to get my Lexus down Poplar Avenue, which I've not driven in this yet. So I'm not going to say I'm the best driver, but I'm going to give it a whirl. So I'm going to go into the office because Scott Toombs is speaking today about how to get a listing. I said in 24 hours. That might have I've gotten that wrong. It's actually 7 days. But Scott Toombs is, again, one of my favorite coaches. I'd encourage you to come in and get some of that information from him. He's not just a coach, he was a producer, he was an operating principal, and he's somebody I highly respect. So I'd encourage you to come in if you can. If you cannot, we will send out the Zoom link for those that want the recording. Where can they find the recording, Leslie or Linda? Oh, there we go. Yeah, Linda, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to actually raise my hand. You can, if you need the recording right away, we have it on Zoom, but we'll be uploading those to YouTube too. We're working on getting those uploaded. They just take longer than expected.
We'll get those added to YouTube so that y'all can access them there. Thank you for that. And then we are going to there's a broker open, I know, happening in Collierville for the Clark team. It is a luxury listing. If you want to get more GEO, I would encourage you to go film it. Come film that property and then put it out on socials, obviously, so you can highlight some of the space in that home. So all I have to say is look forward to seeing you all today. Y'all be careful if you're coming in. If you're not, we'll see you on Zoom. And I hope y'all have a good one and make it count. Bye, everybody.